Communication is possible. Level 1. Yo soy Matthew. I am Matthew. I was a good student. I have been a good student. I am being happy. I am not Matthew. I wasn't a good student. I haven't been a good student. I am not being happy. Am I Matthew? Was I a good student? Have I been a good student? Am I being happy? Tú eres Matthew. You are Matthew. You were a good student. You have been a good student. You are being happy. You aren't Matthew. You weren't a good student. You haven't been a good student. You aren't being a good student. Are you Matthew? Were you a good student? Have you been a good student? Are you being happy? Ellos traen felicidad. They bring happiness. They brought happiness. They have brought happiness. They are bringing happiness. They don't bring happiness. They didn't bring happiness. They haven't brought happiness. They aren't bringing happiness. Do they bring happiness? Did they bring happiness? Have they brought happiness? Are they bringing happiness? Ella cocina el desayuno. She cooks breakfast. She cooked breakfast. She has cooked breakfast. She is cooking breakfast. She doesn't cook breakfast. She didn't cook breakfast. She hasn't cooked breakfast. She isn't cooking breakfast. Does she cook breakfast? Did she cook breakfast? Has she cooked breakfast? Is she cooking breakfast? Ella lava los trastes. She does the dishes. She did the dishes. She has done the dishes. She is doing the dishes. She doesn't do the dishes. She didn't do the dishes. She hasn't done the dishes. She isn't doing the dishes. Does she do the dishes? Did she do the dishes? Has she done the dishes? Is she doing the dishes? Ella conduce un auto. She drives a car. She drove a car. She has driven a car. She is driving a car. She doesn't drive a car. She didn't drive a car. She hasn't driven a car. She isn't driving a car. Does she drive a car? Did she drive a car? Has she driven a car? Is she driving a car? Ella pasa a dejar a los niños. She drops the kids off. She dropped the kids off. She has dropped the kids off. She is dropping the kids off. She doesn't drop the kids off. She didn't drop the kids off. She hasn't dropped the kids off. She isn't dropping the kids off. Does she drop the kids off? Did she drop the kids off? Has she dropped the kids off? Is she dropping the kids off? Ellas comen vegetales. They eat vegetables. They ate vegetables. They have eaten vegetables. They are eating vegetables. They don't eat vegetables. They didn't eat vegetables. They haven't eaten vegetables. They aren't eating vegetables. Do they eat vegetables? Did they eat vegetables? Have they eaten vegetables? Are they eating vegetables? Ella se levanta a las 6. She gets up at 6 o'clock. She got up at 6 o'clock. She has gotten up at 6 o'clock. She is getting up at 6 o'clock. She doesn't get up at 6 o'clock. She didn't get up at 6 o'clock. She hasn't gotten up at 6 o'clock. She isn't getting up at 6 o'clock. Does she get up at 6 o'clock? Did she get up at 6 o'clock? Has she gotten up at 6 o'clock? Is she getting up at 6 o'clock? Ellas van al centro comercial. They go to the shopping mall. They went to the shopping mall. They have gone to the shopping mall. They are going to the shopping mall. They don't go to the shopping mall. They didn't go to the shopping mall. They haven't gone to the shopping mall. They aren't going to the shopping mall. Do they go to the shopping mall? Did they go to the shopping mall? Have they gone to the shopping mall? Are they going to the shopping mall? Ellos se divierten. They have fun. They had fun. They have had fun. They are having fun. They don't have fun. They didn't have fun. They haven't had fun. They aren't having fun. Do they have fun? Did they have fun? Have they had fun? Are they having fun? Él es Matthew. He is Matthew. He was a Karate Kid. He has been a Karate Kid. He is being friendly. He isn't Matthew. He wasn't a Karate Kid. He hasn't been a Karate Kid. He isn't being friendly. Is he Matthew? Was he a Karate Kid? Has he been a Karate Kid? Is he being friendly? Ellas trotan en el gimnasio. They jog in a gym. They jogged in a gym. They have jogged in a gym. They are jogging in a gym. They don't jog in a gym. They didn't jog in a gym. They haven't jogged in a gym. They aren't jogging in a gym. Do they jog in a gym? Did they jog in a gym? Have they jogged in the gym? Are they jogging in a gym? Ella vive en Estados Unidos. She lives in the USA. She lived in the USA. She has lived in the USA. She is living in the USA. She doesn't live in the USA. She didn't live in the USA. She hasn't lived in the USA. She isn't living in the USA. Does she live in the USA? Did she live in the USA? Has she lived in the USA? Is she living in the USA? Él hace la cama. He makes the bed. He made the bed. He has made the bed. He is making the bed. He doesn't make the bed. He didn't make the bed. He hasn't made the bed. He isn't making the bed. Does he make the bed? Did he make the bed? Has he made the bed? Is he making the bed? Ella trapea la cocina. She mops the kitchen. She mopped the kitchen. She has mopped the kitchen. She is mopping the kitchen. She doesn't mop the kitchen. She didn't mop the kitchen. She hasn't mopped the kitchen. She isn't mopping the kitchen. Does she mop the kitchen? Did she mop the kitchen? Has she mopped the kitchen? Is she mopping the kitchen? Él recoge el auto. He picks the car up. He picked the car up. He has picked the car up. He is picking the car up. He doesn't pick the car up. He didn't pick the car up. He hasn't picked the car up. He isn't picking the car up. Does he pick the car up? Did he pick the car up? Has he picked the car up? Is he picking the car up? Él se pone una sudadera. He puts a sweatshirt on. He put a sweatshirt on. He has put a sweatshirt on. He is putting a sweatshirt on. He doesn't put a sweatshirt on. He didn't put a sweatshirt on. He hasn't put a sweatshirt on. He isn't putting a sweatshirt on. Does he put a sweatshirt on? Did he put a sweatshirt on? Has he put a sweatshirt on? Is he putting a sweatshirt on? Ellos ensayan en el teatro. They rehearse at the theater. They rehearsed at the theater. They have rehearsed at the theater. They are rehearsing at the theater. They don't rehearse at the theater. They didn't rehearse at the theater. They haven't rehearsed at the theater. They aren't rehearsing at the theater. Do they rehearse at the theater? Did they rehearse at the theater? Have they rehearsed at the theater? Are they rehearsing at the theater? Ella anda en motocicleta. She rides a motorcycle. She rode a motorcycle. She has ridden a motorcycle. She is riding a motorcycle. She doesn't ride a motorcycle. She didn't ride a motorcycle. She hasn't ridden a motorcycle. She isn't riding a motorcycle. Does she ride a motorcycle? Did she ride a motorcycle? Has she ridden a motorcycle? Is she riding a motorcycle? Él ve sus lentes. He sees his glasses. He saw his glasses. He has seen his glasses. He is seeing his glasses. He doesn't see his glasses. He didn't see his glasses. He hasn't seen his glasses. He isn't seeing his glasses. Does he see his glasses? Did he see his glasses? Has he seen his glasses? Is he seeing his glasses? Ella barre la sala. She sweeps the living room. She swept the living room. She has swept the living room. She is sweeping the living room. She doesn't sweep the living room. She didn't sweep the living room. She hasn't swept the living room. She isn't sweeping the living room. Does she sweep the living room? Did she sweep the living room? Has she swept the living room? Is she sweeping the living room? Él toma el autobús. He takes the bus. He took the bus. He has taken the bus. He is taking the bus. He doesn't take the bus. He didn't take the bus. He hasn't taken the bus. He isn't taking the bus. Does he take the bus? Did he take the bus? Has he taken the bus? Is he taking the bus? Ella se despierta a las 7. She wakes up at 7 o'clock. She woke up at 7 o'clock. She has woken up at 7 o'clock. She is waking up at 7 o'clock. She doesn't wake up at 7 o'clock. She didn't wake up at 7 o'clock. She hasn't woken up at 7 o'clock. She isn't waking up at 7 o'clock. Does she wake up at 7 o'clock? Did she wake up at 7 o'clock? Has she woken up at 7 o'clock? Is she waking up at 7 o'clock? Él camina al cine. He walks to the movies. He walked to the movies. He has walked to the movies. He is walking to the movies. He doesn't walk to the movies. He didn't walk to the movies. He hasn't walked to the movies. He isn't walking to the movies. Does he walk to the movies? Did he walk to the movies? Has he walked to the movies? Is he walking to the movies? Ella trabaja en un restaurante. She works for a restaurant. She worked for a restaurant. She has worked for a restaurant. She is working for a restaurant. She doesn't work for a restaurant. She didn't work for a restaurant. She hasn't worked for a restaurant. She isn't working for a restaurant. Does she work for a restaurant? Did she work for a restaurant? Has she worked for a restaurant? Is she working for a restaurant? Ella escribe una carta. She writes a letter. She wrote a letter. She has written a letter. She is writing a letter. She doesn't write a letter. She didn't write a letter. She hasn't written a letter. She isn't writing a letter. Does she write a letter? Did she write a letter? Has she written a letter? Is she writing a letter? Communication is possible. Level 1.